before I begin with the slide, a little understanding of what human resource management is of highly importance. Human resource management is a process which consists of four main activities, namely acquisition, development, motivation, as well as maintenance of human resources. Having said that, it is concerned with the people dimension in management of an organization. Since an organization is a body of people, their acquisition and development of skills, motivation of higher level of attainment, as well as ensuring maintenance of their level of commitment are all significant activities. So when we talk of the functions of human resources, please, I want to mention concept of planning. Before you begin to think of establishing an organization, you find out that planning is very key from the beginning of the organization even to the end. Even if the organization is winding up, a human resource person must be there to direct all these affairs. From planning to organization, directing, controlling, procurement of personnel, that is hiring of the best hands that will help you drive the goals of the organization, development of the personnel, compensation to personnel, their salaries, motivation, and all what have you, maintaining good industrial relations to make sure that there is a proper established industrial democracy in the workplace. Another angle is record keeping, because it is the function of a human resource manager to keep record keeping of every employee. So because of that, at any given point in time, a human resource manager is in a better position to give a detailed information concerning that particular staff when need arises, ranging from the time the staff was hired, series of training he or she must have attended, number of times he attended leave, training, promotion, and all that. Personnel planning and evaluation. All these are key functions of a human resource manager. So let us move straight away to the slide. So, as a human resource person, let's look at what is trending. As a human resource person, what do I need to know? These are salient questions you ask yourself. As a human resource person, what do I need to know? What are the things you need to know as a human resource person? It is very key to organization development. So what you need to know also range from the time you are employing or hiring the particular staff. Then you start from describing the labor force and how they affect human resource management. What kind of employment or what kind of staff do you have within your domain? Or are you interested in hiring the staff from outside your area? The kind of staff you have within your area, are they the type that can help you drive home the objective of the organization? Or are you looking out somewhere? Then you also summarize the area in which all this human management can support the goals of the organization through higher performance of work system. Then from there you define the employee empowerment and explain its role in the modern organization. In most cases, you find out that you may have been doing things in a traditional way, but as a result of the advent of modernization and globalization, there is cogent need for you to move from traditional way of doing things into a more modified system of doing things in the workplace. So let's move to the next slide. Which has to do with number 4. Mr. Yam, if you can hear me, move the slide a bit up. Move it up. Still under what do I need to do or what do I need to know? Move the slide up. Hello, so as we are saying, defining employees' empowerment and explain the role of the modern organization. All these things are very, very key to an effective organization in the workplace. So having said that, we will also continue to look at the importance of the human resource person in every organization. Even from the assignments I gave you, I am not only interested in knowing the human resource functions, but rather I am also interested in ascertaining your role as a human resource person in the course of merger and acquisition. So you find out that over the years, the human resource person must have lost contact in their traditional role of playing pivotal role each time merger and the acquisitions are taking place in the workplace. Take for instance, a very good example took place during the merger between Habib Bank and Bank PHB. While trying to ascertain the proper, that is trying to carry out due diligence. Due diligence on the overall interests trying to know what both organizations have in place. The due diligence was not properly carried out. And to that extent, gave room for the collapse of the financial institution. Even when they tried to get it right somewhere along the line, they also moved towards the extent of trying to acquire Sky Bank so that they can remedy the mistake they have made in the first instance. But it was too late. So when you talk of the role of a human resource manager, as far as acquisition is concerned, you are not only relying on your traditional role as a manager or as a human resource manager, you are also playing a pivotal role in all meetings. That's what is called all parties meeting. In that all parties meeting, a human resource manager is always present, playing active role, carrying out due diligence until the overall interest of the merger is achieved. If this due diligence is not properly carried out, automatically there will be a problem along the line. Serious problem that management can find it very difficult before they can rectify it. So, we move to number 4. What do I need? Still on what do I need to know as a human resource person? You have to identify ways HR professionals can support organization strategies for quality, growth, and efficiency. Then you have to look out and find out some of these things, some of these strategies that are geared towards the quality. When we talk of quality, you think of hiring the quality staff. You strive for organizational growth. From there, we look at the summary ways in which HR can support organizations expanding internationally. Look at Zenith Bank today, Guaranty Trust Bank, UBA. They have all expanded their horizon by having international branches, both within the sub-Saharan African and even in Europe. It is the desire of every organization or every business concern to move its or grow its business up to that status. From there, we look at discuss how technology development and affecting human resource management. To what extent has the technology affected human resource management? So you find out that in the past, human resource persons, otherwise known as personnel staff, they do things traditionally, but with the advent of modernization, they have jettisoned the idea of doing things traditionally and embrace a more formed global system of technology. Explain how the nature of the employment relationship is changing. How did we come to this level we are now? Look at now, we are using webinar to have this class. Before, all these things weren't possible. These are new innovation in the system. And it has helped to grow business concern to an enviable status. We also look at how we can discuss how the need for flexibility affects human resource management. There must be room for flexibility because we are living in an environment that changes. So we have to change, and all these things are changing. Let's look at the labor force quickly. In labor force, we have two types. We talk of the internal labor force and the external labor force. Under internal labor force, we are looking at the workers, your employee, the people who contribute to the development of the organization on a daily basis. Then by the external, we are looking at your clients, the number and kinds of people in the external labor market. These are the people that are making you be in business. Without them, you cannot be in business. We also look at the age workforce, because an aging workforce is the bane of human resource organization. Most human resource organizations have been finding it very difficult in order to bridge the gap between the old generation and the new generation. At times, you find out that in most cases, if the new generations go on retirement, the organization finds it difficult to continue in existence. A very good example is Mr. Biggs. What is happening today? Mr. Biggs could not cope with the latest trend in the industry. At times, also the new generations will have kind of new innovation. That is the reason why you have to bring the old and the new and blend the two together in order to achieve your aim. People criticize Onigwinde in the World Cup of 2002, asking what questions. Why did he bring somebody like Mutiu Adepoju? You find out that Adegwinde brought in Mutiu Adepoju based on his wealth of experience in the field of play. Such thing is also obtainable in the industrial organization. A little to the left, a little to the right. You make use of your old staff, you also make use of your new staff. I will stop here until I come across your way same time. But before I go, I would like to repeat the assignment. MTN Nigeria Communication PLC acquired VGC Communications and Visaphone. Sequel to the aforementioned, give a critical exposition of your role in the acquisition as a human resource manager. Submit to Valentine Ekechukwu at yahoo.co.uk. Thank you very much and have a blessed day. Okay, I still have time. Okay, I continue, sorry. A diverse workforce is also what we can look at, because we are dealing with human beings. The diverse workforce has to embrace people from different skills. You bring them together in the course of achieving your aim. Look at what we explained in the course of addressing an aging workforce. You find out that in most cases, if organization is having too many age workforce, is a problem. And when you are having too many of younger generations, is also a problem. Especially when the workforce is aging, organization is finding it difficult to spend more money on them in terms of hospital bills, in terms of not being proactive any longer as a result of old age. Also in terms of not doing the right thing at the same time. Maybe they find it difficult to come to work on time, they resume early and go back to, they resume late and close from work too early because their health is failing them. Organization will also be having problem of preparing their retirement benefits, how to pay them off and how to take care of them at old age. Because it has come to the notice of human resource management that after retirement, a good number of them don't even survive the retirement period. hence the introduction of pension management fund by federal government, of which private sectors have also keyed in that direction. They don't give them everything they have so that they don't go and squander it at once and begin to have problems. So management and pension fund administrators has a way of planning for their old age so that they will not suffer at this point in time. So let's look at skill deficiency of the workforce. Immediately this age workforce is on retirement, there is a gap, there is a lacuna. If management, if HRM finds it difficult to cushion this lacuna, there is another problem that will emanate. This is the major problem why so many organizations today has gone into oblivion. Because they find it difficult to cushion the gap when their old staff are going on retirement. Some organizations have gone extra mile of creating a kind of seminar whereby the retired staff will come on stage and they rub minds with the current younger generations. Let's look at the implication on the workforce. HR professionals will spend much of their time on concern related to retirement planning. I have explained that before. Retraining old workers and motivating workers whose career have reached a plateau, that it has reached to the highest peak. Many of tomorrow's managers will supervise employees much older than themselves. A good human resource person has to weigh in order not to create acrimony or maybe blood. Organizations will have to find ways to attract, retain, and prepare the youth labor force, because that is the more reason why you have to move and mix the old and the new, so that by the time the old will be leaving the stage, the new generation boys will take over and continue from where the old ones stopped. As more and more the workforce reaches retirement age, some companies have set up mentoring programs. I have explained that when I made mention of pension funds and mentoring programs between older and the younger workers, so that knowledge is not lost but passed on. You pass on. I remember the motto of the Queen's College: pass on the torch. You pass on the torch to the new generation so that there won't be problems, so that there won't be lacuna. The new generation boys will continue from where the old ones stopped. Let's look at skill deficiencies in workplace. Use of computers to do routine tasks has changed the kind of skills needed by employees. This area is where the new generation boys are far more better and ahead of the old generation boys. So they find out a way of using computer to develop their skills. A college degree is not as important as it once was. So gone are the days when your employer will ask you of your university degree, but these days your employer is interested on what you can do. What can you offer? Something is applicable in advanced countries. They don't lay much emphasis on your academic qualification, but they lay much emphasis on what you can do as a person, the skill you possess. US production jobs require intelligence and the skills as much as strength. Today, employers are looking for mathematical skills, verbal skills, that is, people that can speak, that have the power to speak and convince people, because whatever we are doing, you cannot rule marketing out of it. We need people that can market the product and tell us what the product can do. We also look at interpersonal skills, the qualities you possess as a person, the qualities that make you stand out before your colleagues. Your computer skills is also of high importance. The gap between the skills needed and skills available has decreased. The skills you have, and there is a popular saying in our local parlance that when the desired is not available, the available becomes desirable. So you link the two and know what you can do with it. They sometimes lack the capacity to upgrade technology, recognize work, and empower employees. In most cases, up to this moment, most organizations are finding it difficult to accept the developmental changes, the technological changes that are taking place in today's world. It's not every school that can do what we are doing right now, using webinar to deliver lectures. That shows that JPTS is up to the task. We are doing what is psychologically required of us as an institution. Most conventional universities cannot do what we are doing today. By the time we have started, others will now follow. Before you know it, others have started copying our idea. So I repeat the assignment in the interest of those that are joining us late. MTN Nigeria Communication PLC acquired VGC Communications and Visafone. Sequel to the aforementioned, give a critical exposition of your role in the acquisition as a human resource manager. This is an applied question. You can bring your wealth of experience in your workplace. Tell us, especially mergers and acquisitions have been going on in recent times. I want you to draw references with some of the mergers and acquisitions that have taken place in Nigeria. Those that worked out, like this, why I use MTN, MTN worked out because MTN is not looking at their assets, but rather on their subscribers. But those that we are looking at assets, they failed woefully, and at the end of the day, they were out of the business. Thank you very much. Have a very lovely day. We meet again same time next week. Good morning.
Yes. No, yes.